Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Legal Information, Law Insights. I'm Advocate Mukund Mahajan. In today's video, we'll be discussing an important and often confusing topic, the differences between Ordinance, Act, Bill, Rules, and Regulations. Understanding these terms is essential to grasp how laws are created, applied, and enforced in India. Let's dive right in and begin by understanding the concept of a bill. A bill is essentially a proposal for a new law or an amendment to an existing law. Bills are introduced in either House of Parliament, the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, and go through a multi-step process of debates, discussions, and voting. There are four main types of bills. 1. Government bills introduced by a minister. 2. Private members' bills proposed by MPs who are not ministers. 3. Money bills focus on finance, taxation, or public expenditure. 4. Private bills deal with specific individuals or institutions. Once a bill is passed by both houses of Parliament and signed by the President, it becomes an act. Think of the bill as the blueprint for a law. Now, let's understand what an act is. An act is a law that has been passed by Parliament and received the President's assent. Once passed, an act becomes enforceable and provides a legal framework for specific areas like civil law, criminal law, or governance. Examples include the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, 2023, which replaced the Indian Penal Code, the Constitution of India, the Companies Act, 2013. Acts lay the foundation for implementing rules and regulations, which we'll cover shortly. Let's begin by exploring what an ordinance is. An ordinance is a temporary law issued by the President of India under Article 123 of the Constitution when Parliament is not in session and immediate action is required. Key points to remember. An ordinance is valid for 6 weeks after Parliament reconvenes. If not approved by Parliament within this period, it lapses. Ordinances are often issued during emergencies, such as national security threats or natural disasters. A notable example is the Triple Talaq Ordinance, which was later passed as an act. Let's begin by understanding what rules are. Rules are detailed guidelines framed by the executive branch to implement the provisions of an act. While an act provides the legal framework, rules specify how it will be applied in practice. For example, the Companies Act, 2013, is the legal framework for corporate governance. The Companies Incorporation Rules, 2014, explain the procedures for registering, maintaining, and dissolving companies. It's important to note that rules cannot override the provisions of the Act. Let's start by understanding what regulations are. Regulations are specific rules made by statutory bodies to regulate industries or sectors. Unlike rules, regulations are more specific and focused on operational aspects. Examples include SABI regulations governing securities markets and mutual funds. RBI regulations setting guidelines for banks and financial institutions. These regulations ensure that specific sectors function efficiently and are held accountable to higher standards. Let's quickly explore the key differences at a glance. Bill, a proposal for a new law introduced in Parliament. Act, a law passed by Parliament and signed by the President. Ordinance, a temporary law issued by the President when Parliament is not in session. Rules, guidelines created by the government to implement an act. Regulations, sector-specific rules made by regulatory bodies. These distinctions help in understanding the legislative process in India. Now, let's understand this better with real-life examples. 1. Goods and Services Tax, GST. The GST Act, 2017 is the law. The GST rules outline how businesses comply. 2. Ordinances, the Triple Talaq Ordinance, later enacted as an act. 3. Regulations, SABI regulations on securities trading. RBI guidelines for banking operations. Let's dive into the recent legislative changes. It's important to stay updated on changes to laws. Here are some recent legislative reforms. Criminal law reforms, 2023. The Indian Penal Code was replaced by the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, 2023, along with 2 other laws. Competition law reforms. The Competition Amendment Act 2023 introduced stricter guidelines for market regulation. These changes reflect India's effort to modernize its legal system. Thank you for watching this breakdown on Ordinance, Act, Bill, Rules, and Regulations. If you found this video helpful, please like this video. Share it with others who might find it useful. And don't forget to subscribe to Legal Information, Law Insights for more legal updates and insights. Feel free to drop your questions in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. Stay informed, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next video.